Hi everyone, this is Lance with Dugong in the production section of the test. This video details the way to handle the free speaking question. The first part will cover the visual question and the second part will cover the oral question. Hope it helps.
Okay, continuing with the production section of the Duolingo. This might be the most challenging question that appears on the test. It's the free speaking, visual, and oral question. There are two questions, and both use the same techniques to succeed. First is a visual question, a question that appears on your screen that you can see and that you'll be asked to respond to. The second is a question that you listen to in the same way and you'll be asked to respond to. These fall under the category of what's called TPO questions, time, place, occasion. Talk about a time that something happened. Talk about a place that you were. Talk about an occasion that you experienced or an opinion that you have. We'll look at the topic question. We'll look at the mini questions that follow, and we'll also help you organize your thoughts. Let's get started. Here's a typical question that you might see. Talk about something that gets you excited, and you'll see a large record button. You'll have 20 seconds to prepare, and it'll start recording after the 20 seconds or until you push the large record button. Now, most people might be intimidated with a question like this because it's very open-ended. You don't know what direction to go. But the Duolingo test won't leave you there because they're hoping that you can answer comprehensively. So they follow up with what's called mini questions. And these questions are something like, what is it? What about it gets you so excited? How often does this happen? So when these bullet points appear under the question, these will help guide you along through the question. You have to speak a minimum of 30 seconds up to 90 seconds. Let's take a look at another question. How can a person gain credibility? How can a person discuss how a person can gain credibility? Again, it won't leave you open-ended. It will follow up with mini questions. Who is someone who has credibility in your eyes? How can a person gain credibility? Why is credibility important to an individual or a company? So you don't need to stress. You can take a deep breath and you can go through the question one by one, slowly answering each to speak as long as possible. Let's take a look at how to organize your thoughts. The second question was, discuss how a person can gain credibility, and here are the follow-up questions. So what I'd like you to look at is using the question to help structure your answer, using this question in the same way, and using this question to help you structure your answer. For example, who is someone that has credibility in your eyes? Someone that has credibility in my eyes is, using the same sentence structure and the same grammar. How can a person gain credibility? A person can gain credibility by the same way. Why is credibility so important to an individual or a company? This is so important because who is someone? Someone is. How can a person? A person can buy. Why is credibility so important? This is important because. How? Buy. Why? Because. Let's take a look at a sample response. Someone that has credibility in my eyes is my father. He has always believed in me and supported me while I was trying to figure out my direction in life. There were times where he financially supported me and also helped me with my schoolwork. A person can gain credibility by great communication. Again, my dad was somebody who knew how to articulate the details of work, school, and life. I always saw him talking to the people around him. This is so important because credibility helps an individual build trust, and in order for businesses and companies to thrive, there has to be respectful relationships at every level. This is why my father was the best and how someone can gain credibility. Again, we've used the questions to help us structure the answer, and we've given full responses for each mini question. The reason and the example. The reason and the example. The reason and the example. Remember, when you're speaking, understand the content words. Emphasize the main nouns and the main verbs to help you score higher. Let's take a look at the next type of question. The free speaking oral. Speak the answer to the question that you hear. This is the only thing that you'll see appear on the screen. Now remember, you won't see a question appear. You'll have to listen to it. So here's the button that you are allowed to push up to 3 times. And when you click it, a question, something like this, will appear, or you'll hear. Describe an older person that you admire. How long have you known them? Why do you look up to them? Now, you probably won't catch the entire question or questions in the first hearing, so you can listen up to 3 times. After 20 seconds, it automatically begins recording, or until you feel ready and you can click the record button. Let's take a look at a technique that a lot of people use. Okay? Most people will listen to the beginning. Try to capture the beginning part of the recording first, or the listening first. Then they'll try to capture the end, and then they'll listen to the middle. So for example, the beginning part of the statement said, describe an older person you admire. Describe an older person you admire. The ending, why do you look up to them? Why do you respect? Why do you look up to them? And the middle stated, how long have you known them? Again, these are the mini questions that appear. The main question and the mini questions that appear. Use them all to speak comprehensively. Let's take a look at a sample answer. The old person that I admire the most is my grandfather. To me, he is a hero, an ideal father, a benevolent person, and a man of honor. He is around 75 years old now, and I have known him my whole life. We live in a joint family, and he's still the head of our family. I look up to him because even though he can't manage every aspect of our family due to his age, he is still the decision maker. He taught me the value of honesty and punctuality. He told me some of his great adventures in his life through stories, and those stories are still inspiring for me today. He was educated and successful, as all of my family are professionals in business because of him. These are the reasons I revere my grandfather. So we've answered the first question, or the first part of the question, we've answered the middle part of the question, and we've answered the ending part of the question.
I hope that video gave you some insight into how to handle the free speaking question. We'll see you in the next video.